Hi students, I'm Sonia from Vidya Guru, starting a new session on current affairs. This is going to be the first part for the month of August. So August 2023, the current affairs for the month of August, I'm beginning with that. Before starting, you have the option of pressing the like button. Kindly do that. Share the video with your friends, those who are preparing for any competitive exam. Do subscribe to our channel if you have not till now. You will gain a lot many points today. Believe me, watch the session till the end. As I am starting the session right now, I wish to actually start with one most important question, and that is going to be there on your screen from here on. We deliver topic-wise current affairs. If you are not able to understand how it is actually delivered, then the topic on the screen is India in Focus, and we are beginning with G20. Yes. So we are beginning with G20 ministerial meet and the ministers like from the nations basically. This time India is doing the presidency. We all know that. You may have seen the boards on the roads, G20, G20, G20. So what kind of ministers are meeting? What kind of meets are taking place? So we are going to talk about them one by one. So India is doing the presidency. That means these ministerial meets are actually taking place in India only, and that is why they are quite important for us. So we'll start with the Labour and Employment Ministerial Meet. So Labour and Employment Ministers Meet took place in Indore, happened in Indore. The second meet is Energy Ministers Meet, which took place in Goa. Environment and Climate Sustainability Ministerial Meet took place in Chennai. Anti-corruption ministers meet took place in Kolkata. I'm going to repeat. So I was saying that Labour Employment Ministers meet Indore, Energy Ministers meet Goa, Environment and Climate Sustainability Ministers meet Chennai, Anti-corruption in Kolkata. That is how you can actually learn. We'll begin with some other important questions because they occupied first place on our screen. As they are there on the first page, that means they are quite significant. So India is trying to help its neighbors, as we are doing it that way, that India is providing help to Sri Lanka by providing it 450 million rupees, that means 45 crores in short, for digital identity project. For digital identity project. I'm going to repeat. India provides rupees 450 million to Sri Lanka for digital identity project. When I move ahead, PM visits UAE, and if PM visits, if our Prime Minister meets, visits United Arab Emirates, that means he is supposed to meet the president of that place too. So the name of the president becomes important for us, and his name is Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. I am repeating it. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. That's the name of the president of UAE whom our Prime Minister met. When I proceed, India International Center for Buddhist Culture and Heritage to come up in Lumbini, Nepal. We all know the association of Lumbini with Buddhist. Lumbini, Nepal, Bodh religion. We are referring to Bodh religion. We are talking about Mahatma Buddha, and we are talking about this place, so everybody knows his birthplace. Lumbini, Nepal has that sort of importance that actually nobody can ignore. There at that place, Buddhist Culture and Heritage International India International Center is getting opened. We are going to revise what we have studied. So India in Focus, we began with G20 ministerial meet. We know this is the question which is quite significant for your exam. Labour and Employment Ministers meet in Indore, Energy in Goa, Environment and Climate Sustainability in Chennai, and Anti-corruption in Kolkata. So these are the ministers related to these departments of G20 countries, and they all met here. India provides rupees 450 million, that means 45 crores to Sri Lanka for digital identity project. PM visits UAE, so UAE's president, the name of this person becomes important. His name is Sheikh Mohammed bin Al Nahyan. Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. India International Center India International Center for Buddhist Culture, for Buddhist Heritage is opening in Lumbini, Nepal. I hope you are getting what I'm teaching. If you are understanding, you have the option of pressing the like button. I am not going to waste a single minute of yours, believe me. So keep watching till the end. The next question is state news. So we'll be talking about states here. What states are doing, what is happening in the states. Let's read them one by one. So 19 new districts. It is the kind of news that you must be thinking that going to be there in the exam. Yes, districts are, or the addition of districts is important, we all know that. So 19 new districts and 3 divisions in Rajasthan. Total number of districts are going to be 50. That way they can ask you that question, that how many districts are there in Rajasthan. They are 50, recently added 19 and 3 divisions. Don't learn their names, be kind to yourself. I really don't want you to waste your time on this particular thing. It is quite deep, you need not learn that. 19 new districts have been added, 3 new divisions have been added in Rajasthan. So Rajasthan in total has 50 total districts. That is what I meant. So UNESCO Asia Pacific Cultural Heritage Award. Baikula Station is in Mumbai, received it. So you'll actually be seeing in the Maharaj Chhatrapati Shivaji Sangralaya also received that award. This is quite important. This is Baikula Station that you have to learn. Received something huge, and it is there on your screen. UNESCO's Asia Pacific Cultural Heritage Award was given to Baikula Station, and Baikula is in Mumbai. Baikula Station is in Mumbai. If you are not aware, for your kind information, Baikula Station is in Mumbai can also be asked separately. Like where Baikula Station is located, it is in Mumbai. And the reason why this question will, is going to be there in your exam, for that reason. Probably they won't ask such detail, but they can ask you where Baikula is situated. You have to learn it thoroughly. Baikula is in Mumbai. UNESCO's Asia Pacific Cultural Heritage Award was given to it. I hope you understand Kerala's name, should be changed to Keralam. They are relating it with Malayalam, their language. We all understand that. Their assembly, Kerala's assembly, passed that as well. That Kerala assembly passes the resolution to rename Kerala to Keralam. So Kerala should be renamed as Keralam. Try to relate it with Malayalam. And Mexican state, Nuevo Leon. Mexican state, Nuevo Leon signed an MOU with UP. Yes, in the presence of Yogi Adityanath. So I'm saying that UP MOU was signed. They may ask you, like they've signed MOU, important states are there. UP is important there, Nuevo Leon is important. Nuevo Leon is a Mexican state, and if they are signing an MOU, you must be aware that you are going to study tourism, infra and pharma. The MOU is about these 3. I hope you have understood that Mexican state, Nuevo Leon and UP signed memorandum of understanding. Obviously, they'll be working on these sectors, that they'll be, working on tourism, infra and pharma. That is why they have signed it. Unmesha International Literature Festival, that it is. Utkarsh is also a kind of festival. It is folk, tribal, performing arts festival. It was celebrated in Bhopal. That's the venue for these. That is what you have to learn. Let's read it again. 19 new districts and 3 divisions in Rajasthan. Rajasthan has total 50 districts now. UNESCO Asia Pacific Cultural Heritage Award to Baikula Station, which is in Mumbai. Kerala is going to be renamed as Keralam. Mexican state, Nuevo Leon signed an MOU with UP on tourism, on infra, on pharma. Unmesha is an international literature festival. Utkarsh is a folk tribal performing art festival, and they were celebrated in Bhopal, MP, Madhya Pradesh. Let's move to the next question. Now we are going to start sports updates. Let's see what is happening. We'll be beginning with hockey, and Indian men's team made us feel proud again. And how did they do that? They won by defeating Malaysia in Men's Asian Championship Trophy, Men's Asian Championship Trophy, in which men's hockey team defeated Malaysia. The name of the runner-up is significant too. Try to understand that. And this happened in Chennai. I'll repeat. India defeated Malaysia in Chennai in Men's Asian Championship Trophy. India's second highest wicket taker. See, everybody talks about Harbhajan Singh, Harbhajan Singh, Harbhajan Singh. From now on, you should start talking about Ravichandran Ashwin also, because India's second highest wicket taker in international cricket, Ravichandran Ashwin, has become that now. First to take 7 wickets. You understand that if somebody knows anything about this game, that person knows this thing is quite important, because if somebody could do it for the very first time, this can be the question in your exam. So T20, men's T20 international match was going on. China and Malaysia were playing. Malaysian cricketer Saizarul Izzat Idris became that first player to take 7 wickets in men's T20 international match. This was happening for the first time. Please, it is important. See, every kind of record, when it is made, it is quite new to all of you. 7 wickets in T20 international match. Nobody took that prior to him. He could do it. He's from Malaysia. His name is important. And while playing against China, he could actually do it. So, Saizarul Izzat Idris, World Archery Championship. Archery, bow and arrow. India performed quite well. Like, there are things which are happening for the first time, and it is quite important. Bow and arrow archery championship was going on, and it was taking place in Berlin, Germany. So, Berlin, Germany, World Archery Championship, right? When we proceed, we can see that India won 4 medals. India won 4 medals. 3 were gold and 1 was bronze. 3 were gold and 1 was bronze. 3 golds are important. You must know the names of the winners. One is men's compound individual. His name is Ojas Praveen Devtale. Ojas Praveen Devtale. Women's championship compound I'm referring to, that is individual too. So women's compound individual, Aditi Gopichand Swami. This is women's team compound. This is women's team compound. Here the team has to be there. It is Jyoti, it is Praneet Kaur, it is Aditi Swami too. So we are talking about team here. Jyoti, Praneet Kaur, Aditi Swami, we are referring to the team here. They were the members basically, that is why I am naming them. But otherwise team could receive it. That is why instead of learning the names, you can learn that women's team compound, women's compound individual Aditi Swami, and Ojas Praveen Devtale, men's compound individual. So they were the performers, the real ones. So 3 gold, 1 bronze, India archery medal tally. That is how India could perform. But the important part was World Archery Championship took place in Berlin. We'll be revising them. India beat Malaysia in Chennai in Men's Asian Championship Trophy. Lifted it. India's second highest wicket taker in international cricket, Ravichandran Ashwin. First to take 7 wickets in men's T20 international match against China. Malaysia's player Saizarul Izzat Idris. Berlin, Germany is the place where World Archery Championship was taking place. And India lifted 3 gold and 1 bronze. Let's move ahead. Now those students who are not preparing for banking exams can take a break of a few minutes. Let's see what is there on the screen for those students who are preparing for IBPS, for SBI, any exam. The questions are super significant. Have faith. You have to learn them all, whatever I'm teaching you. We are beginning with monetary policy review of RBI. Even if the rates are not changing, you have to lay eyes on, you have to focus particularly on these rates, because if you do that, there'll be no mistake. Pay attention, 6.5% is repo, 6.5% is repo rate. Standing deposit facility is 6.25%. Standing deposit facility is 6.25%. Marginal standing facility and bank rate are 6.75%. Digital payment growth, as you guys can see, everybody pays through Paytm, through UPI, through Google Pay or Phone Pay, as you are aware, that everybody tries to pay digitally. That means digital payments have to grow, and you can see as per that digital payment index 2, digital payment growth is 13.24%. 13.24%. It is quite good. We all know that. So for the financial year 23, digital payment growth is 13.24%. UPI 123 Pay. UPI 123 Pay is basically by PNB, Punjab National Bank. So what is it? It is basically an IVR based UPI solution. UPI 123 Pay is by Punjab National Bank. It is a kind of UPI solution, but an IVR based UPI solution by PNB. Top lender, those who provided credit, those who provided loan, we are referring to those, financial organizations like the bank which is there on your screen. It is Canara Bank. So Canara Bank became the top lender, gave too many loans to PSUs, that means public sector undertakings only. So PSUs and corporations, for them, top lender remained Canara Bank. So Canara Bank remained top lender to state PSUs. Be attentive while choosing the words. To state PSUs and corporations, Canara Bank for the financial year 23, it remained the top lender. Credit card by IndusInd Bank and Tiger Fintech, as you can see that it is also the name of a company only. So Tiger Fintech is there. Such sort of co-brandings, do take place. We all know that. So Tiger Fintech and IndusInd Bank, they are actually coming up with a credit card. It is just that. And to offer RuPay credit cards. See, Kiwi is also, a fintech company. If you are not aware, they also, wish to increase the business for RuPay. So to offer RuPay credit cards, they lend money. If they lend money through UPI, it is something different. You all know that. Although National Payments Corporation of India, NPCI, has permitted this as well, that through UPI even such things can take place, that to offer RuPay credit cards digitally, Kiwi Fintech, Kiwi company, Kiwi ties up with Axis Bank. And what they are offering? They are offering Axis Quick Virtual Card. Axis Quick Virtual Card. So this was the banking news on your screen. We are beginning with more questions. Let's proceed. From here on, everybody can join. If you wish to join us, the numbers are given below. You can actually dial them. You can speak with our executives. They are going to help you a lot. If you are not willing to speak with anybody, you wish to join straight away, online.vidyaguru.in is the website. You can go and check the courses out, and you can join the courses as per your suitability, whatever suits you. We record such sort of complete English medium sessions for our South Indian students, for our students from Northeast India, like those students who are unable to understand Hindi well. We record such sort of complete English medium sessions for them. So by that logic, we have complete English medium program, complete English medium course, and bilingual Hindi and English combo courses also available. So you can choose any course, whichever is actually suitable. You can join us that way. Let's move ahead with the next questions. So next set of questions is government initiatives and government schemes. They are quite important. We know that such questions are there because the exams are for the government jobs. So primarily these questions are asked. We'll be starting with the first one. This is the short question which is going to be there in your exam. 13th numbers Maharatna. If you think that way, that if any organization is there, any PSU is there, they are performing well, they are generating money for the government, they keep them into the categories of Maharatna, Navratna sort of. So 13th Maharatna is Oil India Limited. 13th numbers Maharatna, Oil India Limited has become. Learn this question carefully, it is surely going to be there. 13th Maharatna, Oil India Limited. The next one is ONGC Videsh ONGC Videsh. 14th Navratna is ONGC Videsh. So ONGC Videsh, 14th Navratna. Project Elephant and Project Tiger merge. We all know that the species are, you can say they have to be conserved, and if such sort of projects are actually getting merged, that means the conservation is taking place, it is not a problem, but only two projects are getting merged that side by side. That means they can take care of tigers and elephants side by side. So Project Tiger and Project Elephant getting merged. Government scheme, new visa category for foreign people like who are visiting the country on medical basis, like they are coming here to treat themselves, and if they are coming here to get themselves treated, they'll be visiting India on Ayush visa. Ayush visa will be given to those foreigners who are actually visiting the country for some medical reasons, and they are actually getting themselves treated for the same. I'll repeat it, I'll read it for you. So new visa category has been introduced for foreigners visiting India for medical treatment, and the visa will be Ayush visa, which will be given to them. Bharat Net project. As the name suggests, it is a net project, so it is for broadband. How much money will be spent on that? It is going to be 1.39 lakh crores. 1.39 lakh crores. And 6.4 lakh villages will get the benefit. So it is quite a number, you know that. So 6.4 lakh villages will get the net connectivity sort of. So 1.3 lakh crore is the money that government will be spending on this particular project, which is basically Bharat Net project. Yes. Ullas Nav Bharat Saksharta Karyakram. Saksharta, literacy is being provided. Literacy program is there. So it is basically New India's literacy program, Ullas, and it has a full form. That is why I wrote it in capitals. So uppercase is there, you can see. So Ullas has some full form, but Ullas is by Ministry of Education, that you have to learn. Ullas is by Ministry of Education, that is what you have to learn first. Second is its full form. Ullas, understanding. Ullas, L, lifelong. L, learning for all in society. Understanding, lifelong learning in society. Understanding, lifelong learning for all in society. So lifelong learning are the important words in Ullas, and that is how you can see that learning means literacy. That is why Ullas has something to do with literacy. It is Saksharta Karyakram only by Ministry of Education. So I am going to repeat these questions for you, and I hope you are learning side by side. Try to speak along with me. That is how you will be able to retain these questions. 13th numbers Maharatna Oil India Limited. 14th numbers Navratna ONGC Videsh. Project Elephant and Project Tiger got merged. New visa category for foreigners visiting for medical purpose or medical treatment. Ayush visa will be given to them. New category is important, you know that. BharatNet project to reach 6.4 lakh villages, 1.39 lakh crores will be spent. Ullas is understanding lifelong learning for all in society. It is the Saksharta Karyakram literacy mission for literacy mission, but by Ministry of Education. That is what you have to learn. So New India's, like for New India, it is a literacy mission. That is what I was trying to say. Here we'll be talking about science and technology. Let's read them. So in science and technology, we are starting with NISAR. And what is this NISAR? First N is NASA and I is ISRO. That is how you'll be knowing it is a project of NASA and ISRO. Collectively, they are doing something, that is NISAR. And let's talk about it. NISAR is NASA, ISRO, synthetic fabricated, synthetic made, man-made, aperture radar. NISAR is a low Earth orbit. I repeat, ISRO and NASA working on NISAR. What is NISAR? NISAR is NASA, ISRO, synthetic aperture radar. It is basically a low Earth orbit. It is basically a low Earth orbit. Now we are going to talk about Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. As the name suggests that it is for the satellites to be launched. So Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle C-56 we are studying here. 7 satellites were actually launched through it from Sriharikota, Satish Dhawan Space Center, that you all know. You can relate it very easily, I know that. But what I am saying is that 7 satellites of Singapore were released, were actually launched from this particular launch vehicle. So through this launch vehicle C-56, the primary satellite was DSSAR, which is radar imaging earth observation satellite only. DSSAR. SAR has some full form which is synthetic aperture radar. Synthetic aperture radar. So it is made by Israel Aerospace. I am going to repeat. PSLV C-56 is the launch vehicle. PSLV, Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle, C-56 is the launch vehicle through which 7 satellites of Singapore were actually launched from Sriharikota, Satish Dhawan Space Center. We all know that. Now what else I wish to add? The primary one is DSSAR. Along with this satellite, the primary one, 6 more satellites were launched. Co-passengers were there too. I'm saying this DSSAR satellite was launched. 7 satellites were actually put in the orbit. That is what we have written here. And if somebody asks you what is the full form of SAR, then synthetic aperture radar is basically SAR. It is a radar imaging earth observation satellite, DSSAR, and Israel Aerospace made these satellites that I'm mentioning here. Micron technology, like USA is Micron technology, planning to establish, planning to open, planning to come up with the plant in Gujarat. Yes, but it is a semiconductor chip plant. I'll repeat, Micron technology from USA to start a semiconductor chip making plant in Gujarat. So Micron technology, semiconductor chip plant in Gujarat. ISRO helps Skyroot test rocket engine. Skyroot, if you have heard the name, do you remember Vikram 1, Vikram S, whatever you are able to recall, that it was basically a rocket released by this company. It is basically an aerospace, or you can say space startup. It is Skyroot. So it was like privately made. Vikram 1 was launched. You may have heard the news long back. So it is ISRO helping Skyroot technology rocket engine, which is Raman 2. What is Raman 2? It is basically a rocket engine. It will be used in the 4th stage of Vikram 1 launcher. I'll repeat. I hope you understand what is the significance of this question. You cannot skip that. If you are not getting it, I am going to repeat that. ISRO helps Skyroot test rocket engine. ISRO helps Skyroot test rocket engine Raman 2. And what is this Raman 2 going to do? Raman 2 will be used in the 4th stage of Vikram 1 launcher. I'll be repeating all the questions once again. So ISRO and NASA working on NISAR. NISAR is basically NASA ISRO synthetic aperture radar. PSLV C-56 launched Singapore's 7 satellites in the orbit, puts them in the orbit, and synthetic aperture radar is the full form of SAR, and these satellites were made by Israel Aerospace. Micron technology is a USA. Micron technology is from USA, and they are opening a semiconductor chip manufacturing plant in Gujarat. ISRO helps Skyroot test rocket engine Raman 2 because it will be used in Vikram 1 launcher, 4th stage it will be used. That is why they are helping them further. Let's move to the important days now. So important days on your screen. International Day of World's Indigenous People. Indigenous, those who took birth at the place, they are indigenous. Like we live here in India, so we are indigenous. So indigenous people, International Day of World's Indigenous People. If you cannot learn it this way, you can call it just World Indigenous People. You can retain it that way. So 9th August is the date when we celebrate Indigenous People Day. Indigenous peoples, that means we are trying to say that. Theme was important, Indigenous youth. So Indigenous word is common here. That is how you can learn. So Indigenous youth as agents of change. Youth can actually bring change, you know that. So youth is bringing change, that is what they are saying. Indigenous youth as agents of change for self-determination. International Youth Day is celebrated on 12th August. The theme for it is Green Skills for Youth. Green Skills for Youth towards a sustainable world. National Handloom Day was celebrated the 9th time on the 7th August. The theme was Handlooms for Sustainable Fashion. World Biofuel Day celebrated on 10th August. International Day of Friendship by UN, not by all of us. 30th July it was celebrated. So I'm going to repeat these days. They are quite significant. Try to learn them. If you haven't pressed the like button yet, please do that. International Day of World's Indigenous People celebrated on 9th August. The theme was Indigenous Youth as Agents of Change for Self-Determination. International Youth Day 12th August. Theme was Green Skills for Youth towards a Sustainable World. National Handloom Day 7th August. Biofuel Day 10th August. International Day of Friendship by UN celebrated on 30th of July. 30th of July. So with that, I have come to an end of the session. If you haven't pressed the like button yet, kindly do that. If you wish to join us, the numbers are given below. Every faculty is going to help you with exactly the same questions which are going to be there in your exam. So you can join us. Thank you so much for watching.